A cousin of mine aliniambia Nairobi unaweza fika upate kazi ya mjengo 300 bob per day, and manze, looking back, 300 bob per day, that was a lot of money for me per day. 300 bob. I left home and I called the guy, nikamwambia nimetoka. Akaniambia, yeah, by the way, please feel free to come. The last time I ever had or spoke with this guy was when I was calling and telling him I'm in Nakuru. After that, simu ikazima yake, not yangu. Don't know kama alizima ama ilizimika, but we never met again. And that's how I ended up in the streets for 8-9 months pale Kibera terminus. Hello, my name is Anthony Phillips Owino. I'm born and raised in Siaya County. Ordinarily, naturally I come from Alego, Nyadhi, but I'm brought up by my maternal grandma, a large part of my life, brought up by my maternal grandma in Ugenya. Ugenya constituency, Lolwe village. Yes, so this is the story of my life. I hope that it will help somebody in one way or the other. Now, I was brought up, my mom died in the year 1997, and dad passed on again in the year 2001. I was so young, so we had to relocate from Siaya Township. We used to study at Siaya Township Primary School. Then we came to Nairobi, to Kisumu I mean, where we enrolled at Kibos Prisons Primary. This one we did with this one was done by my aunt. May her soul rest in peace. It was a moment that personally I believe shaped my life, because it was a hiatus, you know. So we started off, everything was so good until the first 2 years or so. Life was cool. We could have guaranteed meals. We could go to school, really nice schools. That is from the year 2002. Yes, I remember that was when there was an election and the new syllabus was coming in and everything was just so good. It was cool, really, by every stretch of imagination. But then thereafter, shortly, things started happening. My aunt, who took us in, left us in Kisumu and came to continue with her work in Nairobi. So we were literally surviving from hand to mouth. We could do gambles, like in Kisumu, Kibos particularly, where I grew up and which an area that shaped part of my life. We used to play something called kamari. Kulikuwa na kamari. We used to take 4 eyes of maize, the corn 4. So this side that has slightly like a hole, we used to paint it with mud. So the 4 of them, so if you threw it, you dice, then it's either way, it balances in 2, 2, or 4, either way, you could get some money. So that is how we used to at least earn a living, quote unquote, because it was the only way we knew how. Or maybe we could go play cards out there with guys, win 5 bob, 20 bob, 20 shillings, get a mandazi that was at 5 bob, and maybe sugar. Back then sugar, it was about 32 shillings a kg. So yeah, it really could help us a lot until yeah, things started taking a turn for the worst when we could not take it anymore. And from Kibos we traced, the nearest relative other than the aunt that took us in, who was not with us at this time. The nearest relative was somewhere in Manyata, near Magadi area. So we took there's a Catholic church in Manyata called Magadi, so we took our pleas to these family members who also took it in good faith, so to say, and then called my maternal grandma to share thoughts. See, back then there were no phones. They were there, yes, but not so widespread. But of course, kulikuwa na simu ya jamii. So my shosho called up my aunt who had a Nokia 3310. It was the iPhone of the days, manze. He called the Nokia 3310, and they set up a date. Like they were supposed to meet and talk about us now and address the allegations that we had made. Now it came that apparently these people were to meet on a Saturday, but for God knows why, my aunt came earlier, took us away on Friday, the Friday that was preceding the material Saturday. So we were taken to somewhere in Miwani, and there was no way we could present our case. So obviously whatever was said out there meant that we had no say in it. It didn't go on so well, because later on, as we kept growing and learning new things every day and expanding our mental capacities, we became united. My brother, at this time, my younger sister had been taken back by maternal grandma. We are 5. My elder sister is Judy, my elder brother is Shem, there's Eric, there's me, and now there's my younger sister, who had now been with my grandma, my shosho, uko Siaya, Lulwe, to be precise. And when we were growing as guys, we could now bring together our thoughts and decide on, because largely we were all alone, we were left to decide for ourselves. So we decided that we were not really doing good. So when my aunt realized that we had some unity of purpose, whatever that was called, she split us again. So the elder brother left for Siaya. He had just joined high school. That was in Miwani Boys High School. But then now he was transferred to Siaya, what is currently called St. Paul's Mbaga Mixed Secondary School. And my other brother, Eric, came back to Kisumu. No, he remained in Miwani. Then me, I came back to Kisumu. I'd been studying at a school in Kibos, inaitwa Kibos Prisons, when this happened. And then we were split. We were taken away from this point. Then on my return to Kisumu, I went to a school called Tido Primary School, where I finally got to sit for my exams. So we were split, yes, so there was really nothing we could do, and life had to move on then. Because you can't fight a losing battle. You are alone, you are against the world, and the people that you supposedly fighting are way stronger and more connected than you are. So we studied. When I finished my primary school, that was in the year 2006. Now it was time to join high school. Really, I did not, because I was called to Starehe Boys. Option 2 was Cardinal Otunga Mosocho, and the school fee back then, 80,000 for Starehe Boys, was something that nilipata 384 marks in primary school, and that is what earned me a call to these schools. So yeah, nilikaa home for the whole year, literally whole year. Niliingia high school kukiwa na 2 weeks to the end of year exams. And well, I wasn't idling while at home. I had friends mmoja alikuwa Lions High School. He used to take me through all these things, so I used to learn for fun and for hope that one day I'll join that Form 1. So joining high school, St. Paul's Mbaga Mixed, 2 years to the 2 weeks to the exam, I still managed to top the class. And those teachers were like, what is it that we are doing or we are not doing? But anyway, I didn't know. I had just done my homework well. Exams, it happened. That was in 2007. Sorry. Elections, it happened. All this while, our people, like, it's only my aunt that knows that now wanted to go here, because in high school, we all did it at St. Paul's Mbaga after my brother had been transferred from Miwani Boys to Mbaga. Back then, kuinaitwa Mbaga Mixed Secondary School. So, ni yeye tu alijua na sisi. There were no phone calls, so definitely you could not call someone because they had to go to a neighbor who knew a friend, who knew a friend, who knew a friend to get them a phone, which you also had to do, and it was such an inconvenience. So, yeye alikuwa na simu 3310 Nokia, akapiga. And it's like, Nairobi, Kisumu kumeungua, kuna noma za elections, everything is going to the wires, and it's very risky staying with the kids in such a place. So what we do, wacha niwalete kukitulia, we will see the way forward, because really that is a storyline that anyone could relate with. It was skirmishes all over, people dying, people being burned, killed mercilessly. So it was something someone could buy. Yeah, akakuja akatubeba akatuweka kwa stage hivyo na akaenda. So we had to start life again with my maternal grandma hapo Lolwe village in Siaya, and man, it wasn't one of the easiest things you would really wish for. My maternal grandma, she was aging really. Salute to that woman. She really was aging, time was catching up, and the responsibilities were there on a zero income. But somehow she managed. We enrolled now from St. Paul's Mbaga Mixed. Now we came to a school in Game constituency inaitwa Nyabeda Secondary School. Guys, Nyabeda Secondary School, we used to pay a school fee per year of 4,200 bob. Yes, 1,400 per term, and that really should give you a brief idea of how that school is. One of my teachers alikuwa anasema it's like unaenda kwa chief's camp, because it was just a stretch with a flag hapo mbele. But we managed nonetheless. So it wasn't easy. It was a struggle daily, because kulikuwa na a lot of issues meeting basic needs, food and all of it. My shosho was not working, so the only place we could get food was from the farm. But then, guys, there was this season that the harvest wasn't so good. You know, the harvest isn't so good, especially if you harvest in the month of August, July or August, and the season isn't so good. There's the second planting season that didn't do any good again. So the only hope was 12 months later, July, August of 2008 again. So it was a very tough period for us. Remember, now I'm here, my elder bros are here, we are the four of us. My younger sister was here. Sorry, my two brothers are here, I'm here, my younger sister is here, we are four. And then, kawaida na maisha ushago. Kuna some other relatives pia walikuja, so generally we were about 9 kids alone. Kids alone, we were 9 in that homestead, and with only one breadwinner. So it was too much. There's no food, there's no cereals pale kwa store. Kukatokea a famine period, or rather period ya njaa ilikuwa inajiita Bamba 80. Because actually it was the first time maize, a 2 kg tin of maize was retailing at 80 shillings. So we really used to struggle. Sometimes we would go for days on end without eating any solid food. That is, like, from where I come, solid food, like food is ugali and something. So my shosho used to give us some veggies boiled, literally. She calls them aboka, for those who can understand. For those who don't, maybe it's just kunde, pumpkin leaves, these not traditional vegetables. You just have it, place it in a big sufuria, cover it with banana leaves, add some water, boil, and that's a meal for you. So we used to survive on that severally. It actually got so bad that at some point we had to go get banana, and it wasn't so mature, you know, it wasn't ready for eating. You know, the bananas that you don't cook them, you just eat them when ripe. It was the only option we had, so we had to take a banana that should be eaten when ripe and boil it so that we could just have something to eat. And mark you, it wasn't even ready for that. It was very young in its early, it was very young, very small, but it was the only thing we could have. So imagine after eating, your mouth is all sticky because of that gum, and it's an experience that really I look back at and I say, God, this far, it's you. That wasn't really the end of it. You know, then Shosho got tired when I was sitting my exams, my KCSE exams. Sometime after that pia kukatokea njia zingine. So one of my lowest points was when I was sitting my KCP exams. The last day Shosho got tired, akasema zile za, you can't be doing your exams and you are on an empty stomach. Remember, my school at 4,200 per year, you don't expect something like lunch provided. So about CG school feeding program, that's for the rich, like quote unquote, from my days. So ilikuwa ni upambane na hali yako. Of course, the teachers could have their meals in staff room, whichever way they did it, whether they contributed or not, they know better. But for the students, really, it wasn't the thing. So Shosho akaamua kwenda, tumeenda somewhere in the village, a lady that used to do business in cereals, anauza mahindi. Shosho is there literally, anang'ang'ana na huyu madhe, anajaribu kumuongelesha ingie, and this lady is scolding my Shosho, anamgombanisha kabisa, and we are there and there's nothing you can do. Because hapo ndo life imekufikisha. Akamgombanisha. Tell you guys, I just had to turn my eyes the other way around because I didn't want to see how desperate my Shosho is. If you've ever been so desperate that someone can do anything to you and you're just like, just do whatever you want to do to me as long as you give me something to eat. My Shosho apparently had taken some maize kwa sababu hana job. Hakuwa amelipa, and it wasn't on one occasion. So she's here pleading with this lady, ampatie tu mahindi, Mungu atafungua njia. You see, religion sells us hope. So Mungu atafungua njia, and this lady couldn't hear none of it. Tulikaa hapo, kukaanza kunyesha, kaa tuko hapo, it was raining so bad. Well, it was kinda blessing in disguise, if you ask me, because the lady's husband came and was like, Mama, unafanya nini hapa? It's so late. And nikamwambia, sina kitu ya kukula na watoto, nimelala na watoto siku mbili kwa nyumba wako njaa. This other one is sitting his exams. Siwezi nikataka aende tena lale njaa huko, so nilikuja tu munisaidie mahindi. And then the other lady jumps in like, nimempatia, remember siku fulani tukampatia jalipa, siku ingine tukasikiza story ya jalipa, siku tena leo, no, I'm doing business, for heaven's sake, even if I would have wanted to help you, this is business, it's not charity. And Shosho is there like, nisaidie tu, I know I will pay. But thank God for the guy, alikuja akasema, you've really brought me a long way, so whatever it is, niko na pesa ya gorogoro 2, wacha nikupatie, uende kule na watoi, usilale njaa. Guys, relief, finally. But not so. At least, as we thought, relief, it wasn't so, because remember, it's into the night, kumenyesha, na ushago, it's dark and slippery. So Shosho couldn't trust us with this with this maize, because alikuwa ameing'ang'ania, by the way, alikuwa ameipigania sana. Akamwonea ataibeba. She takes it, packs it kwa kikapu, kaeka kwa kichwa. So tunaenda tunapiga mastori zetu. At least finally we are going to eat something, even if it's not today. Kesho tutarauka wasiage tupate ugali after a very long time. But then when we were just walking somewhere close to taking one turn, shosho akateleza kwa hii matope in the dark. Mahindi ile tulikuwa tumetegemea yote ikaanguka huko kwa matope. To make matters worse, akateguka mguu in that darkness. And guys, I just left shosho sleep there for a moment because I couldn't take it. I shed tears that night. Whatever we had really struggled for, she struggled for this thing so passionately. She went through a lot of, you know, for heaven's sake, mtu asikugombanishe mbele ya watoto wako. But she went through all that and now this, like, imeanguka, iko kwa matope, ye mwenyewe she's here analia. I tried locating my sister in the dark, she was literally sobbing. But being the man now, however young I was, I had to now just take the lead and lift shosho up, nichukue hiyo mulika mwizi yake. You know those Motorola za kitambo, ikona ka screen round hivi na light ya blue. Now that is what we used kuangalia hiyo. So tunakusanya mahindi, tunakusanya na matope, tunakusanya na nyasi, all of it, and anything and everything that was there tunaiweka ndani ya kikapu. So our dreams of kukula ugali after a very long time zikakuwa crushed hivyo tu, because kitu iko na matope, you can't just do it that way. Kulinyesha, you are not so sure when the sun will come ndio mkaushe. So tukafika home, shosho is struggling with her broken ankle. My sister amebeba hiyo mahindi, mimi namtembeza shosho, and we had to boil it. You know, you just boil maize, haina beans, ni githeri tu haina beans, so we ate it. Tulikula lunch saa 7 usiku. Okay, lunch ya usiku, whichever. We had our supper like deep into the night. Not like we really wanted, but there's no other way to go about it. Sometime then, after this experience, that same night I made a decision. As a man, I have to do something. You see, if I can't help isn't the burden, then I'd rather get out, remove my burden from the whole mix. So kama siwezi nikapeana pesa, wacha mimi majukumu yangu nitoe. So after my exam, I started doing some menial jobs in the village, kupalilia wase shamba. And guys, you could do 2 acres for 400 bob. And you know, because you really want to make it so bad, unakuja unafanya hii. I remember I once had shamba ya miwa ya kupalilia, and at the same time I had 2 acres ya mahindi ya kupalilia. All of them zilikuwa zinanipatia something around 400 each. My whole plan was to go to the city in Nairobi and make a living. A cousin of mine aliniambia, Nairobi unaweza fika upate kazi ya mjengo 300 bob per day. And manze, looking back, 300 bob per day, that was a lot of money for me per day. 300 bob na mahindi tunang'ang'ana nayo hapa 80 bob inanisumbua. Hiyo naweza nikapiga kazi siku 2 nipatie shosh anunue mahindi ya wiki mzima, hiyo pesa ingine nijipange. So that was what was speaking to my motivation of leaving home. And so nikaanza hizi jua kali ndogo ndogo kupalilia watu hapa na pale. Mtu anataka nyumba yake, you know, like kuboma nyumba na matope, vitu kama hizo. I used to do them. I was saving in my shosho's phone, but hakuwa na idea, you know. Mtu mzee wewe sasa ukimwambia, yeye hata hajuagi kuangalia messages. Hata ukimtumia pesa unamwambia nilikutumia 500, akasema thank you, Mungu akubless. Hata kama ilikuwa ni dhao, anaenda hapo kwa mtu wa M-Pesa anamwambia kijana yangu alinitumia 500, wewe toa. Hiyo yenye atapewa ndiye atapewa. So she didn't know. Nikang'ang'ana, pesa ikafika fare ya kuenda Nairobi. Back then it was about 800 bob. I planned to tell my shosho that story, but then kukatokea matanga, akafaa kuenda huko. Ye kwenda hiyo matanga akasahau handbag yake huko. It's old age, so forgetting is something real. Actually wali exchange, it was almost the same. So yeye akakuja, yeye akabeba tu bag, hajui amebeba ya nani. Kufika hapa anapata ni ya mtu. Calling back uko now at this time, at least simu zimeanza kuja. At least kama haumuna simu kwa boma yenu, at least the next ilikuwa nayo. So communication was a little easier. Long story short, the bag was located somewhere in Ramula, which also happens to be her home because she was born and raised in Ramula in Game constituency, Game area, and then got married this other side. So it took another 1 week for the bag to come back. I took it as another time ya kuendelea kuhustle. So nika hustle. By the time nafika, I had the money. So I called up a friend of mine tulikuwa naye high school. Nikamwambia, oya bro, ni aje? Iko hivi na hivi manze, mimi nataka tu mali ya kulala. Kuhustle, mimi nita hustle, najiamini, naweza jituma, mimi ni boy manze. You know, because I've fed my subconscious mind the idea of nitaingia mjengo na nipate shilingi 300 per day. Nasikia Nairobi huko Kibira kwanza nyumba ni kama 2,000, so nikisave for 1 month nitakuwa na nyumba yangu. Guys, shock on me. I left, long story short, I left home. Shosho first insisted, no, mi utoki hapa mpaka niamini ni huyo mzee. See, this is a friend I've been with in high school and secondary school rather, and he's been coming home, so he's no strange figure to Shoshos. But then it's just instincts, motherly instincts maybe. That's why Shosho wanted to speak to him. Nikampatia simu akaongea nini, Shosho pia akani bless na akanipatia baraka zake. One thing with my Shosho, hata kama kumekauka aje, she'll never let you go back or leave the homestead evil. Hata kama ataenda kuitisha ndizi wapi, hata kama ni moja, at least just leave home with something. So akanipakia some few stuff hapo. And I called the guy nikamwambia nimetoka, akaniambia yeah, by the way, please feel free to come. The last time I ever had or spoke with this guy was when I was calling and telling him I'm in Nakuru. After that simu ikazima. Yake, not yangu. Don't know kama alizima ama ilizimika, but we never met again. And that's how I ended up in the streets for 8-9 months. Pale Kibira terminus. Hapo mali Kenya bus wanaendaga wanapigia kona, kuna ka lamp ingine kubwa hapo. So there are these ladies that back then walikuwa na those stalls. I don't know how they are now.